Imagine waking up in the morning and knowing your business will run smoothly, even if you don't touch a single thing for the entire day. No urgent emails demanding your attention, no endless firefighting, no sleepless nights worrying about whether operations will crumble in your absence. This isn't a dream reserved for the lucky few. It's something every business owner can strive for. Yet, despite the allure of freedom, so many entrepreneurs find themselves trapped in a cycle where their business can't survive without them. Most people start a business because they want independence, financial freedom, or to pursue a passion. But somewhere along the way, passion can turn into a chain that tethers you to constant work, endless responsibilities, and a feeling that if you step away, the whole thing might fall apart. Breaking free from that requires more than just hard work. It demands strategic thinking, intentional design, and a mindset shift that many overlook. At its core, building a business that doesn't depend on you is about creating systems and structures that allow your vision to operate independently. It's about turning your role from being the center of the wheel to being the architect of the wheel itself. Think about it. The most successful companies in the world aren't held together by a single individual. They thrive because they have processes, teams, and systems that allow them to function without constant micromanagement. But this transformation doesn't happen overnight. It begins with a deep understanding of what is making your business dependent on you in the first place. Often, it's not because you lack talent or dedication, it's because of the way the business was built. Many entrepreneurs start as doers. They handle every aspect of the operation, from marketing to customer service to product development. In the early stages, this is necessary. You need to understand every facet of your business intimately. But if this hands-on approach never evolves, you become the bottleneck. Everything stops if you stop. The first step towards independence is defining the core functions that make your business tick. Identify what truly drives revenue, what operations are essential, and which parts could be delegated, automated, or eliminated entirely. This is where clarity becomes your greatest ally. Without a clear understanding of your business's engine, any attempt to step back will feel like stepping into a void. Once you have clarity, the next step is delegation. And I don't mean handing off random tasks to anyone willing to take them. I mean building a team or finding partners who can handle responsibilities with confidence and competence. Delegation is often one of the hardest lessons for entrepreneurs to learn because it requires trust. Trust that someone else can execute at the level you expect. But it's a necessary step. Your time is your most valuable asset, and every hour spent doing something someone else could handle is an hour wasted on potential growth or strategic thinking. Delegation is more than just hiring people. It's about creating accountability structures. You need clear roles, expectations, and feedback loops. People need to know what success looks like in their role, how it will be measured, and what authority they have to make decisions. Without this, delegation falls apart, and the business remains stuck in dependence. The goal is not to control every detail, but to ensure that the business can thrive in your absence. Automation is the second powerful tool in building a self-sufficient business. Technology today offers countless opportunities to streamline operations. From customer management systems to automated marketing funnels, there's a way to reduce human error and free up your attention. Automation isn't about replacing people, it's about amplifying efficiency. It allows you to maintain quality and consistency while removing the need for constant intervention. But there's a subtle art to automation. It's not about turning every task into a robot's responsibility. Instead, it's about identifying repetitive, predictable, and high-volume tasks that sap energy without requiring deep human judgment. When done correctly, automation becomes a silent partner in your business, handling the routine while your team focuses on strategy, innovation, and growth. Now, here's a truth that often surprises business owners. Even with a capable team and smart automation, many businesses still fail to become independent because the founder never steps away. The mindset is powerful. Some entrepreneurs believe that if they're not involved in every decision, things will go wrong. Others fear that their absence will stall progress. But this belief is the very thing that prevents freedom. Building a business that doesn't depend on you requires intentional withdrawal. It requires creating opportunities to test whether the systems, the team, and the processes can operate without constant supervision. This is where business design comes into play. You need to architect your company so it is resilient. That means documenting procedures, creating training programs, and establishing metrics that show performance objectively. If everything lives in your head, the business dies with your attention. If it's codified, standardized, and measurable, it becomes self-sustaining. At this point, you may be wondering, but what about quality? What about the culture I've worked so hard to build? This is a valid concern. Freedom doesn't mean abandoning standards or vision. It means embedding them into the organization. Culture isn't created by micromanaging every interaction. It's created by clear values, consistent leadership, and systems that reinforce desired behaviors. When your values are baked into the processes, the team naturally reflects them, even in your absence. One story that illustrates this well comes from a company that once struggled because the founder was the only person capable of handling client relationships. Every time the founder took a day off, operations faltered. The turning point came when the founder invested time in training a trusted team member, documenting client handling protocols, and creating a feedback loop for continuous improvement. Within months, the team was not just managing clients, they were exceeding expectations. The founder could finally step away without fear. This wasn't magic, it was deliberate, consistent design and investment in people. Now, midway through our journey, let me share a secondary insight that often reignites motivation. Building a business that doesn't depend on you doesn't just create freedom, it multiplies opportunity. When your attention isn't consumed by daily firefighting, you gain perspective. You can explore new products, new markets, or strategic partnerships. You can experiment without fear, because failure in one area doesn't collapse the entire operation. Independence is the fertile soil from which true growth sprouts. But here's a nuance worth considering. Independence doesn't mean absence. You don't vanish and never think about your business again. You step into a new role, one of oversight, strategy, and vision. You monitor high-level metrics, review outcomes, and steer the ship rather than row it. This distinction is subtle but crucial. It's the difference between being indispensable in a mundane sense and being indispensable in a strategic sense. The latter is liberating, the former is exhausting. Financial structure also plays a pivotal role in creating independence. A business that relies on the founder for every cash flow decision is inherently dependent. Separating operational finances, creating predictable revenue streams, and establishing reserves or contingencies reduces the need for constant intervention. In other words, when the business can manage itself financially, it can survive unexpected challenges without pulling you back into the day-to-day. Another important element is feedback and iteration. Even an independent business is not static. Systems, teams, and processes need continual refinement. But when you've built a foundation that doesn't rely on your presence, iteration becomes deliberate, strategic, and informed rather than reactive and frantic. You can test improvements, measure outcomes, and implement changes without destabilizing the entire operation. Here's a critical insight that many overlook. Your personal development is intertwined with business independence. You can't create structures that work without first developing patience, clarity, and strategic thinking. The founder who seeks to control every detail often struggles to step back because their mindset hasn't evolved alongside the business. Investing in your growth through learning, reflection, and mentoring is as important as investing in your team and systems. At this stage, you might be asking yourself, how do I even start? The truth is, starting is less about overhauling everything at once and more about small, intentional steps. Begin by identifying a single task or function that you can delegate or automate. Document the process, train someone else, monitor and adjust. Once that succeeds, move to the next area. Gradually, your presence becomes optional rather than essential. The momentum compounds, and before long, you'll notice the business thriving without your constant input. A final and often overlooked element is mindset towards failure. In a business that depends on you, failure feels catastrophic. In a self-sufficient business, failure becomes data. Systems fail, processes break, and teams stumble, but the structure absorbs the shock. This shift in perception is liberating because it turns setbacks into learning opportunities rather than existential threats. The more resilient your business, the more confident you can be in exploring bold moves and innovation. As we draw toward the end, consider this. A business that doesn't depend on you is more than just freedom from daily tasks. It's freedom of choice. The choice to step back, to take a vacation, to spend time with family, or to pursue new ventures. It's the freedom to focus on growth rather than survival. And it's the kind of freedom that, once achieved, changes your relationship with work, life, and ambition entirely. Picture your life a year from now. Imagine waking up without the anxiety of unfinished tasks weighing on your mind. Picture your business humming along, your team empowered, and your systems working in harmony. That vision isn't just aspirational, it's attainable, provided you approach your business with intentional design, thoughtful delegation, smart automation, and a commitment to your own growth as a leader. So, if this message resonates with you, take a moment to reflect. What is one task, process, or responsibility you could delegate, automate, or systematize this week? What small step could bring you closer to the freedom you envisioned when you first started? Action, no matter how small, compounds over time. If you found this video helpful, consider showing support by liking it and subscribing to the channel. Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what strategies you're using or planning to implement to build a business that doesn't rely on you. Remember, every step you take towards independence today is a step towards freedom tomorrow. Your business doesn't have to depend on you, and when it doesn't, your life changes in ways you may have only imagined. Freedom, clarity, and opportunity await those willing to design a business that works for them, not the other way around.